Now, I didn't intend to turn my channel into the ZV-E10 review channel, because first of all, that sounds like a terrible name, and secondly, I like all of the cameras. It's just that I get it. People have a lot of questions about the ZV-E10. It's a new camera, and these questions often relate to the current Sony APS-C line. People want to know what the differences are. I've made some other videos before, and in this one, I'm going to compare the ZV-E10 to the a6100. See, because I am always looking for an excuse to drink some apple juice and do a video, so, you know, let's talk about it. So I'm going to say up front that most of this video is going to be talking about how much better the ZV-E10 is than the a6100, especially when it comes to video. But at the end of the video, I am going to tell you why you still may want to consider the a6100. Intrigued? No? Now, I've already done videos comparing the a6400 and the a6600, so let's see how the a6100 compares, because all of the cameras I just mentioned have the exact same 24 megapixel sensor. So the image quality coming out of those cameras is virtually identical. Although the ZV-E10 does have updated color science, so in standard profiles, it might look a little bit better. Now, as of August 12th, 2021, the a6100 is $748 on B&H, and the ZV-E10 is $699 on B&H. So, which one should you buy? So let's start with the advantages the ZV-E10 has over the a6100, and I've already mentioned color science, so let's put that one up there right away. It has the new color science of the ZV-1, says Sony, which people do seem to prefer to the older generation color science on the Sony cameras. So if you're going to shoot in standard profiles coming straight out of the camera, the ZV-E10 is probably going to suit you better. The ZV-E10 has a headphone jack. There is no headphone jack on the a6100, so you can't monitor your audio right from the camera. And here's a big one to me, and that is the picture profiles. You could shoot in S-Log2, S-Log3, and HLG on the ZV-E10, but the a6100, they removed all of the picture profiles. So you're stuck with the standard profile coming out of camera. I mean, it looks pretty good, and you can tweak it with the contrast and the saturation to kind of make it look the way you want, but the fact is, having the S-Log2, 3, and HLG is a huge advantage, especially for someone like me who likes to do his own color grading and get the most dynamic range I can out of my sensor. The dynamic range is going to be much greater in the logs and the HLG than it is in the standard profile. The ZV-E10 has that flip out screen, the full 360-degree articulating screen, whereas the a6100 has the 180-degree, the flip up screen, which, you know, not many people prefer because it gets in the way if you want to stick things in the hot shoe, and most people like to have the screen out to the side, especially if they're shooting video. And speaking of that hot shoe, the ZV-E10 can accommodate Sony's new hot shoe accessories like the shotgun mic or the wireless mic or the XLR capsule, so that is yet another benefit. The ZV-E10 has a new vertical video feature, so if you're recording stories for Instagram or YouTube Shorts or, God forbid, TikTok, then you can just turn the camera on its side, it'll record you, and then you don't have to switch it in post. You don't have to turn your footage, it just comes out and you can show your booty popping or whatever it is that you kids are doing these days, and it'll be good to go. The ZV-E10 has eye detection in video. Now, the a6100 is no slouch when it comes to autofocus. It's very good, but the eye detection in video is only available on the ZV-E10 or the much more expensive a6600. It also uses the gyroscope data in the camera to be able to use the Catalyst Browse software, so that even though your footage will probably look shaky as crap when you're out and about because it doesn't have any stabilization, when you get it in the Catalyst Browse, which can take a long time. It can be a cumbersome process, don't let that fool you, but if you're willing to put in the time, the Catalyst Browse software looks like it can really smooth out your footage in post. It has a better built-in microphone, but we all use external microphones probably anyway, so that's not much of a point, but it is nice to know it's there. It actually even comes with a little wind muff, but come on guys, use an external microphone. I got one right here. Sorry about that. It's got that little product showcase mode where you hold things up and it goes, and I tell you what though, I would use that So if you're like me, and I hope you're not for your own sake, but if you need to show things to the camera, that mode is actually quite useful. It's got good recording tally lights, the big red record button up on top, a red tally light on the camera, and also the flip out screen. It has a big red ring around your camera so you know when you're recording. That is very useful. It has 3 layers of skin softening, and it also has a background defocus feature. I'm gonna lump those two together because I don't find them to be advantages. Don't use the skin softening. It looks terrible. You will look like a weird alien. And also the defocus thing, that is just a manipulation of shutter speed and aperture and ISO, so you can do that on the a6100. Not an advantage. I don't know, you know, they're doing their marketing, right? They're saying, hey, vloggers. Anyway, vlog is not a vlogging camera. Much better streaming on the ZV-E10, makes it easy, just one cord and you're ready to go. And also a USB-C is in the ZV-E10. I actually didn't mention that in any of my other videos about the ZV-E10, but there's been enough comments in my comment section saying that they think that is an advantage. So if you think it's an advantage, and it is, it's a better port to have than the USB 2. So does the a6100 have any advantages? The answer is not many. But there is one specifically. It is the EVF, the Electronic Viewfinder. Now that is 1.44 million dots. Not the greatest viewfinder in the world, but it is a viewfinder. So if you like taking the old photographs, the old snappy snaps, then you may want to use that. I certainly, when I take my photos, my award-winning photos of my cat, then I use the EVF. Always do. I like it. I like it for framing, and even out on a bright sunny day, if I'm trying to shoot video of my cat trying to escape me, I will use the EVF. So it is an advantage, the EVF. But other than that, it's really tough to want to buy the a6100 over the ZV-E10. It's not even weather sealed. At least with the a6400 and the a6600, it has a much better construction, those two cameras. They have a tougher build, they're made of better materials, and they are weather sealed, whereas the a6100 is not. So why did I mention then in the beginning that you may still want to consider buying the a6100 in 2021 when the ZV-E10 exists? Well, the answer is the used market. If you can go on the old eBays and find a very good deal, let's say some fool is selling it for $300, then you pounce on that because you're getting a camera with the same sensor as the ZV-E10. Yes, it doesn't have the picture profiles, so as long as you're comfortable with shooting in the standard profile and you like taking your pictures, you'll still get a very good camera. But in 2021, I certainly wouldn't pay full retail price for the a6100, because if you want the viewfinder, I would go for the a6400. It is a better camera in many ways. It has the picture profiles, it has the weather sealing, it has a better EVF, so I would do that. So anyway, I have pre-ordered the ZV-E10, so if you want to hear more about this camera, you're going to hear more about it on the channel. I swear, I make videos about other cameras too. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, all that nonsense. We'll see you again soon. Okay, bye-bye. Should I just start my next ZV-E10 video now, or should I get another apple juice?